Greetings and salutations, race fans, motorsport lovers, and a special welcome to all you desert freaks and stage racing people. Today, a special show brought to you by Ink Monkey Wraps that talks specifically about the Kalahari Rally. We're going to talk to some people involved and follow the history of the rally and find out this multi-stage rally, what it's all about. I'm joined by Andrew Horn, the Horn Dog, who will be looking after your comments. Andrew, thank you very much and welcome to you. And then in particular, Garth Roberts, the race director of the Kalahari Rally, and Hannes van Rensburg, the route director of Kalahari Rally. Welcome, guys, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Colin. Thanks. It's great being on Raceday.
Awesome stuff, guys. For anybody watching, please send us your comments and your questions and your queries. And Andrew, in the top right of your corner, Andrew, put your hand up. Will answer all the questions, and he will share them with the rest of the group. But Garth, going to you, Kalahari Rally, give us an overview of this multi-stage desert race. What's it about, Garth?
Again, before having us here on the show, really great to be with you guys. Kalahari is exactly like the Dakar or any international or rally race event that uses roadworks as waypoints. You know, we run with not GPS, it's GPS tracking. And the format's the same, the roadbooks are the same as international format roadbooks. It's the SACS or the South African Off-Road Championship type roadbook. So that format runs like your Dakar, how your Dakar would run, your stages, your specials, your liaison. So it's pretty much the same as the Dakar run.
So could we be as presumptuous to call it a Kalahari version of the Dakar that's 7 stages long?
I would, yeah, I would also like to be presumptuous to say it's heading in that direction. We've got a couple of things up our sleeve in terms of with Dakar, then Dakar organization. We're trying to move in that direction in terms of degree of difficulty. So yes, there's 7 stages. Every day is a different stage in terms of the length of the stage, the degree of difficulty of the stage, from navigation to terrain. But to answer your question, yes, we are pretty much trying to keep it the same or that level that Dakar has formulated the event since the early 80s when Thierry Sabine started his event. So we're pioneering a new thing. You know, this has been done in Southern Africa, and something that we'd like to move in a direction where Dakar started in the early 80s.
Awesome. Hannes, you're the route director, and this event takes place in the northwest part of the Northern Cape province, close to Botswana and to Namibia, in lovely sandy deserts, well, Northern Cape conditions. What sort of route can the guys expect, Hannes?
Colin, yeah, actually the race starts in Mafeking. And the furthest east that we go is near the Skulpathek border post between South Africa and Botswana. The furthest west we go is the Namibian border. So it starts off, you know, you can say Mafeking is the edge of the Kalahari. From Mafeking west, it is drier and drier and more sandy. So we start off with, we call the area the Digterbos. Now, the guys that raced in Mafeking will know what the Digterbos is. It's sand.
Yeah.
Long stretches of sand with thick bush. And then it moves off to Heuningvlei. That's on the edge. That's where the border between Northern Cape and Northwest are. From Heuningvlei, it moves to Meer. Meer, Hokskin Pan, where the Bloodhound was racing. The route, part of the route is crossing the northern edges of Hokskin Pan. And then we go up till the border fence, the fence between between South Africa and Namibia, and then moved back from Sailsrus back to Digterbos, and then we call it the Skilpadhek route. That is between Ramatlabama and Lubatsi. On the Botswana side, we're keeping on the South African side. In what they tell me is this old volcano, you know, the Rensburg is 20 kilometers. This volcano crater is 60 kilometers. So they're racing in, and that's more bushveld, rocky bushveld type of terrain. So they've got everything, from bushveld to sand up to dunes. They've got it. Everything in between is liaisons.
Yeah.
Also, they've got to travel in the racing vehicles, on the motorbikes, whatever they entered in. They're not allowed to load their vehicles onto the back of a trailer or a truck and take it to the next stage. So they've got to drive it there.
That's absolutely
all
awesome.
on gravel roads and two track roads.
We've got a slide that shows the stage description. If you can put that up for us, Fritzy. And so there's we talk about Heuningvlei, Klein Muur, and Fritz and, Henk and I were up at the Skilpad, or at Huxley and Pan, watching the land speed record, the Bloodhound. And it's wonderful desert country, that. Hannes?
Yes, Colin, no, it is lovely. It's the dunes there. It's not the huge dunes that you get in the Namib Desert, but it's big enough to get stuck in. It's red sands,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the first time I went in there.
Sorry,
there's a part.
carry on, Hannes. We just
Yes.
the delay will get
Yes.
to us. Hannes, carry on.
Okay, there's a part they call the Gemeentedam Red Dunes. That's north of a little place called Lobos. Now, Lobos is the northern edges of the Huxley and Pan.
Yeah.
The first time I went in there, we were two vehicles. It took us 8.5 hours on 15 kilometers. Luckily, we had a winch. So, but every time I go in there, it's just fantastic driving there, and the people there, it's just amazing.
I'm glad you mentioned the people, because our experience of that part of South Africa is that it's almost a different world, where die mense wil net praat en gesellig wees. It is so friendly, lekker, and it is beautiful, but very, very hard country.
Yes, no, it is hard country. You go in there, you go north of Rietfontein, going up to the Kalahari Frontier Park. You get to these places, what do you call them? There's people in there.
Yeah.
There's nothing. They've got a hut underneath the only tree that you can see. Their cattle post, or where the veersapings are.
Yeah.
And you talk to these people and get permission to go travel through there and use their farms. But you can't start talking before you don't have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
They've really got not much. But you've got to sit down and chat and kuier with them and have a cup of tea or whatever before you can go on.
And
so that takes, it's just amazing. Find people there and talking to them.
There's that little, 40 kilometers, or just on the other side of the Huxley and Pan, and we're coming to your comments now. 40 or 12 kilometers on the other side of Huxley and Pan is that little dorpie there. And we needed some fuel, and they were so friendly. They went to open, and it's a really, really special time. But Andrew, you've got some comments for us and questions from the Facebook pages.
I've obviously got somebody who's done your event before. Willem Avenant, number 282, he says he still has nightmares about your Digterbos from 2018. So, there's somebody that's obviously enjoyed themselves and battled a bit, and I think that's obviously what your event's designed to do, is test character, test vehicles, and test people's resolution on getting through it.
Yes, Andrew, you know, what's amazing over this event, it doesn't matter if you're a competitor or official or marshal or whoever. Everybody stays over in the bivouacs. And
Yes.
look, as hard as it is on the competitors, it's on the officials and the people that's involved in this event. You know, the last one that we had, 2019, some of the people did go. You did not sleep for 2-3 days because it's so vast, and you've got to be. Everything has got to be there, and you come back into the bivouac and you start chatting with the competitors. It's at the end of the race, it's one big crazy family.
Yeah.
Well,
And
you've
they're
been
also
kind
coming out
enough to.
While the competitors are not, they're competing through the day. After the stage of the day, they sit around, they help each other. With
Garth,
fairs or whatever.
Garth, you've extended an invite to Raceday.tv for us to cover this event, and just hearing some of the stories that Hannes is talking about, it's going to be a very, very interesting time for us, isn't it?
I'll be lying if I said it wasn't. It's going to be very difficult, even for the crews. As Hannes is very clear that, you know, this is exactly where the direction we're moving in. We started out with a fairly easy event in terms of navigating when the event started, and that I'm actually putting the blame on my friend Simon Hall. He was one of my rally as a rally bowler because it was part of my other business for rally bikes, and to start the rally probably years ago, and it eventually sort of came into fruition. So you got out of the event starting in a good way. So that building up from the degree of difficulty from 18 to 19 to 2020. 2020 is going to see an exceptionally event, a lot more dunes, 3-4 stages of dunes, and that brings in that degree of difficulty. And one of our competitors that finished in 2018, the inaugural event, Joe Holmes, and Joe's were, if it isn't difficult, you won't appreciate it. And those words resonated with me, and it stuck with me. And we slowly built it up. Yes, it's not, we're not the Dakar, but we would like to use this as a stepping stone, as a footprint, and that if you've done the Kalahari, measure that you don't complete the Dakar, or no, you will not make it. You need to do more preparation, and that comes back to your first question: is, you know, into how the event is going to be formulated. Coming to the question of Willem, or his statement, you know, he still has nightmares. It's not really the intention to make it that difficult that you can't finish.
From 18 to 19 to 2020.
I'm having feedback there. So what happens is that your feedback. I'm going to. So what happens is the event in 2020. Going into the dunes, as Anna said, is going to be difficult from having to compare service crews, not as much, but obviously in the evening when they're prepping the bikes and working on the cars and getting their vehicles ready for the next, it's going to be long nights. For the media team, editing to do, getting out of the stage, you know, you get 3 hours of sleep a night. Same for this, we said. For the organizational team, last year we had an average of 3-4 hours sleep a night. This year will be pretty much the same. Barring the coronavirus doesn't make it any, doesn't affect the event even further. At this stage, the planning is still that we will run it. But get to that. Yes, Willem, he's got a point there that it was very difficult last year. It is going to be difficult this year, but we also manage it in the sense that our data we get live as the event happens from our rail center, which is run through Constantine, our COC and race management, in terms of the timing, the tracking systems, and that we can make it on the spur of the moment decision that we stop a stage or stop a section of the stage because competitors are not getting through it. It's too difficult.
Okay, cool. Now, the event, you mentioned the impact that Corona is having. And just talking about impacts, for those of you battling with some of the connectivity, we are in Pretoria, and there is one murr of a storm, and thunder and lightning and wet stuff falling from the sky. So bear with us. It wasn't
The
only
other side of
coronavirus that chucked a spanner in the works, but Mike Cliff, your Chief Marshal and Recovery Director, was tragically involved in an accident. And just from Raceday to Mike's family, friends, and to the whole of the Kalahari Rally community, we offer our sincere condolences and sympathies. And it must be a difficult time when somebody who's as integral as Mike is to this event leaves you suddenly.
Mike was something that, Hannes and I are very different personalities, and I love Hannes to bits. He's like this big brother that is bounce ideas. And when Hannes and I came past, Mike was just that calm. He would just bring a lot of calm to the whole situation, and just this bring a perspective that you just think, Mike, where'd you come with? But his passion for off-road, he's come a lot longer than Hannes. Him and I were very, very close. And the 2.5 years I got to know Mike, it was like I knew him literally knew him for a lifetime. The impact, it was so profound in my personal life and in the event. If I think about how do you replace Mike, you can't. We will never be able to replace Mike. Mike is equivalent people, and I'm exaggerating. And Hannes on Mike a bit for me. Hannes, if you can just come in there and just weigh in on this.
Yeah, as Garth said, Mike was also had a hell of a calming influence on me. And at this stage, I haven't thought about it yet, but I can't imagine going out on the route, going out in the bush without Mike sitting on the navigator seat. He's been involved, he's been on every stage of this route. And as I said, he was the calming influence. I think me and Garth has got quite the same personality. We butt heads a lot of times. And then Mike comes in between and he calms the situation down. And yeah, now we'll miss him. As I said, I've still got to make peace with the fact that I won't be having a traveling buddy like Mike.
Well, I think that we should dedicate this year's event, starting end of August, to Mike and the building blocks, the foundation that is laid to hopefully an event going that grows from strength to strength. And I just want to go, Garth, just a quick one before we go to Andrew for some questions. I love the idea that you've got like a little mini tester, almost like Maguza or Mazuga has become for the bike guys, that this can become not a travel to the rest of the outside of South Africa. It can become a mini tester, a measurer of your worth and of your preparation for something like Dakar. Have you had good buy-in from the cross-country community and from the general motorsport community in South Africa for this?
Yes, just Colin, to answer a few part of the question is, regarding the tester, where we're moving to, that the guys can use this as a tester, and that's a big part of the situation we've got in South Africa. We're very southern part of obviously the world, and it's so difficult and expensive for the bigger teams to come from there, and vice versa for South Africans to go overseas to go and either test, well, not testing, but to go and compete and qualify for events like, or go to Rally du Maroc or Mirage. So with this, it allows a local platform where it'll literally cost a South African a tenth of the value to to be able to compete at the Kalahari and measure their ability, themselves, as well as their vehicles. As we know, rally is about both. It's about the competitor as well as the vehicle. Coming to South African Championship and the South African competitors. I must Sachs have been very supportive. You know, Archie Rutherford and his team, guys like Evan Hutchinson, director, has been so supportive of the event. Even the commission has also given a lot of support, and you know they want to see they've been behind the scenes. Has been work as well with Vic Maharaj, the new motorsport manager, who's been very supportive, and that really has been well. I'm there if you guys can see me. Sorry, it just went dead.
It sort of comes and goes with the massive storm that we got in. But carry on, Garth. Tell us the good news about MSA supporting it.
You know, MSA gets a lot of flack and a lot of negativity in that. You know, I come back from the 80s and 90s racing motorcycles and obviously started moving into it. But I must say, has really stepped up this year. I am immensely thankful for them coming on board and really keep a hand up to try and make sure that Kalahari is not a standalone event. It must become an event where it actually becomes part of MSA's stable and enjoys MSA's stable. And this is the main part that where Sachs, guys like Archie Rutherford and them are getting involved to support the event. Obviously, we've signature of the event that we'd like to make, and that signature is obviously the degree of difficulty to maintain the rally format, because Sachs South African Championship runs in more of a sprint type event, which has definitely got a huge place in our market in racing, since that we produce some of the best competitors and drivers. You know, you go back like guys like Alfie Cox, Clayton Ensign has won a stage in the Abu Dhabi Rally, and obviously, you know, Geniel de Villiers, a legend. You interviewed him last week. I watched the interview. You know, Geniel's a legend in his own right. He's, you know, him and Alfie really sort of pioneered a rally for competitors in South Africa. All compete in the South African Championship, while guys like Geniel. Yeah. So yes, it's a big symbiosis in Sachs as well as to work together, and I'm really excited for the future.
I think it would be absolutely. He has a huge challenge to any of the factory guys. You know, wouldn't it be so cool if we could have the Woolridge with the new Ford Ranger? That'll be out, their new turbocharged car. That'll be out and up and running by then, and hopefully a Toyota or two. Be absolutely magnificent to see them race. But Horn Dog, you got some questions? Andrew, you've got some comments from the Facebook. Have we still got Andrew? Can he still hear us?
Sorry guys, I've got no audio here. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, well Andrew, speak about the comments.
Okay guys, we've got Arvia EMC is obviously a photographer. He says it's one of the toughest events from a photographer's point of view, but definitely his favorite. He can't wait for the 20th edition. In my opinion, a must do for any off-road competitor. And I think going on from that, a question for Hannes is, what goes into this route and selecting the sort of terrain and the right sort of mix? And is that targeted to sort of attract cars as well as bikes?
Yeah, the whole idea, this must be for bikes, cars and quads. Because that's how it's done in the Dakar. That's, you know, the big rally events, off-road rally events. That's how it's done. To get a terrain, first, you must get somebody that's living in that area to help you. You cannot go in there from outside. You've got to get permissions from all the landowners, provincial governments, police. It's actually quite a lot of work that goes into getting a part of land to go and have a racing. And so we've got, I've traveled a lot and I've met a few people over the years, and even now, the last 2 years. So everywhere I go, I get people to help, get the permissions in place. And now, once you know you can go into an area and the people welcomes you there, then the big work starts. How to get a route.
Sure.
Start on Google Earth and work it from there. And then you've got to go and
And also
drive it.
to-
And
Yeah, I was going to say to drive it and sort of decide is this suitable, across the board for three quite drastically different types of vehicles. A bike, a quad, and a bakkie or a 4x4. It's quite a big mix.
it is quite a big mix. But yeah, look, I've been involved in off-road racing, not as a racer as such. I used to do it quite a few years ago with my dad. But I'm involved in the GXCC races of the bikes. I've been involved with route marking in the Botswana with the TDR for quite a few years also. So I've got I've got an idea what to look for bikes and what to look for cars. Obviously, you've got to have wider routes, wider roads for your cars, and the road books are drawn up there's a lot of places you get to a caution. For a car, it's not a big issue, but for the bike, you've got to put in those cautions. So you sometimes get to the navigators, they say, but you've drawn this as a caution and it's not a caution. I said, but okay, what about the bike? The guy on the two wheels. For him, it will be, a rut in the road. A car with a white tire goes over it. A bike with, we've got a problem. So you've got to look at both sides. And yeah, you've got to get the right mix. And what I've found the last 2 years, it's not usually the bike oaks that moans. It's usually the navigators on the cars, and they get more lost. I don't know why. I don't know why.
It's, the navigators,
lost,
the navigators or the co-drivers, as we like to, the office managers, they like to, they've got reasons. Some people call them excuses. We call them reasons. Garth, is there any, when do entries open and close, and how does somebody who's interested about it get some more information about the event?
Colin, okay, first of all, the event or the official website is kalahari.com. So all the information's on there. And just to repeat, Kalahari Rally, www.kalaharirally.com. Not all the information is on at the moment, like, for example, our regulation and certain supplementary regulations, obviously, because it's well in advance. So we'll only have that up 2 months before that, because we need to get certain permits in places, etc., for the event. And then, so the competitors can still prepare the technical regulations, prepare their bikes or their cars, the vehicles, from a perspective and to get through inspection. Entries, actually, the early bird rate are much cheaper. If you enter early, that closed the end of March. However, the fact of the coronavirus, it's just affected everybody, and it's just thrown us to upside down turmoil in terms of the world rally community. So we had a bit of a codessa and discussed it with the with the organization team. And what we've done is we've extended the entry fee, the early bird, till the end of May, 31 May. For the guys to get the early 31 May is that they've got to just pay initial payment. It's not the full payment, and we've guaranteed their payment. They won't lose their money. God forbid that anything worse escalates in terms of the coronavirus. So your standard entry will move a month later, which will be then the end of June, that you must get your standard rate. But obviously the earth is what everybody's after because it's a cheaper rate. The late goes the end of, that's the last is your late entries.
Awesome stuff. Well, between now and August, as the event builds up, we're going to spend a little bit more time both with you, Garth and Hannes, and unfold and share the story of what could become a really fantastic event and grow into a bar, a measure, a standard by which future competitors in Dakar are measured. And somebody, instead of needing to go to Mazuga, go to Rally du Maroc and learn all either the languages and how to talk to bank managers very nicely, that we can go to our Red Sands, Digterbos, Skilpadsnek, Klein Meer, and there is a Groot Meer, and we've been there, and it's brilliant. Yanang Vlei, it's absolutely, the names are, it's God's own country. It is absolutely magnificent. I think Garth and Hannes, we certainly look forward to help tell the story, and any news that you've got, I'm sure you'll pass it on our way.
Yes,
Absolutely,
Colin, I think there's also one thing.
Yes.
Colin, there's one thing that I think we can also mention here, and even for the guys that hasn't got the racing car or the racing bike, we've introduced an adventure class. So what you do is you also enter, and you share in the hype of everything. You share in the bivouacs. You've got everything. You get the tracking systems. But the difference is you don't go into the racing sections. You follow the race on the bivouac, on the routes. You'll get a GPS track downloaded on your GPS, and you can follow the race. And then also you get spots on the route as a spectator that will not be open for the rest of the spectators. So you have little secluded spots.
Sounds like an adventure of note. Andrew, to wrap up from your side, if you can hear us.
I can hear you. To wrap my side, I think that's a really cool idea. To have that adventure class is fantastic, and I think that's what will open it up to people and bring new people into the sport, which I think is so fantastic.
But Andrew, I love that hat of yours. That hat has many memories, and I think you mentioned it there. It's about Raceday, trying to do whatever we can to make the sport lacquerer, betterer, fasterer, nicerer, and more accessible.
Bring motorsport to new people.
Yeah. Garth, from your side, any final comments from you? I think we've lost Garth. So, right, Hannes, final comments from you, and what's your one thing, your one big wish going forward into looking forward to the event?
My one big wish is a lot of entries, please. We need those entries. We need the people to come out here. I think the biggest wish is Corona, go away.
I think we all wish that.
It's quite a handbrake on all our planning now, yeah.
Yeah, we've been in lockdown for a while. Hannes and Garth, thank you very much for joining us, and Andrew for looking after the Facebook. I'm sure that we will talk, well, I know we will talk in the months and weeks coming up, Hannes and Garth, who sadly we lost. Thank you very much on behalf of Raceday for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at the Kalahari Rally 2020. Andrew, be well and continue your quest to grow a moustache.
I am. It's still in the R&D stage, but we'll get there. Thank you.
Right, awesome stuff. And on my side, I'd just like to thank Ink Monkey Wraps for supporting us as always, and to Henk and Fritz and the production team. I see our catering department has arrived for sustenance for a little bit later during the night today. We really thank them. Thank you very much, catering department. I mean, they're here in full force. They only are missing their captain, but I'm sure that he will come along sometime. Thank you, our listeners, our watchers, our viewers, for joining us. And we will talk again. On behalf of Raceday, be smart, be lacquer, be safe, and have fun. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Hi guys, I'm back. I don't know what happened.